After winning La Liga and the Champions League in the span of a week and hitting 57 goals and 20 assists in just 54 matches, Lorenzo Castorre Jr. took a week off to enjoy his holidays in Greece. He had been at an absolutely insane level this last year and was basically already guaranteed a third Ballon d'Or. So, very deservedly, he decided to just relax, chill and party in Greece like a champ. But unfortunately for him, his holidays didn't last long, as he quickly had to return to Spain. However, it wasn't to start the preseason with Madrid. Nope, it was to take part in the World Cup with Chile. And now it's time to begin the World Cup journey with Lorenzo Castorre Jr. and Chile. Now we were stuck in a group with Belgium, North Macedonia and Ivory Coast. Obviously Chile, they're not the favorites coming into this tournament. They're a rocky side with Lorenzo Castorre obviously as the star of the team, two-time Ballon d'Or winner and two-time Champions League winner. But now the expectations for Chile weren't to win the tournament, as a bit far-fetched, but with Lorenzo Castorre inside the team, the people were expecting at least a quarter-final finish or just to get as far as they can. But there was a lot of pressure on the team and we really had to perform. Everyone is watching Chile, everyone is watching Lorenzo Castorre. He's the favorite player of so many kids, he's the favorite player of so many people. And he was already showing a few flicks in the start of the game. But Chile were not feeling comfortable in the first half. Ivory Coast had most of the chances. And they had two very good crosses into the box which almost helped them take the lead. But Chile survived without conceding a single goal. And in the second half, Castorre was played through into the box. And he opened the score for Chile in the World Cup against the Ivory Coast. An exciting run into the box which saw him finish it below the keeper's legs, but for some reason this was counted as an own goal. I thought Castorre had enough merits to claim it for himself, but they awarded it as an own goal from the keeper, which means that Castorre was going to have to wait before he got his first World Cup goal. But he didn't wait at all, because right after that he smashed the ball into the back of the net with a right foot strike. A beautiful connection with his teammate who gave him a backheel pass. And just look at the Chilean fans in the stadium screaming his name. The Ballon d'Or winner, the captain of Real Madrid, and now guiding his nation in the World Cup. His first ever goal in this competition. His first ever goal in the World Cup. And what a goal it was. Lorenzo Castorre Jr. and Chile were on absolute fire in this second half. And it didn't take long at all for Castorre to sneak into the box and assist his teammate for a third goal from Chile, 3-0 against the Ivory Coast. What a start to the World Cup for our country, what a start to the tournament. And it's impossible to not get hyped and to not believe in these guys. With this result we could top of the group ahead of Belgium, who also beat North Macedonia with 3 goals, but they conceded, we didn't, and we're top. Also, I'm not sure if I've already clarified it, but this World Cup is being hosted by Spain and Portugal. And after winning our first match with a very convincing second half performance, we now have to face no other than North Macedonia. Now, at first glance, this seems like an easy game for Chile. We just have to win, or at the very least, not lose. But in tournaments like this, those things are said easier than done. And in fact, it was North Macedonia who took a very early lead against us. But Chile and Lorenzo Castorre were not going to accept a simple defeat. And Castorre hit them with a volley. But the goalkeeper got his gloves to it. And Chile were under pressure, but just then Castorre sneaked into the box, took a shot, it was saved by the keeper, but on the rebound my teammate got it and we tied the match, 1-1. Look at how Castorre sneaks himself into the box, and with a right foot strike, he allows for the keeper to make a mistake and give it to our teammate. But immediately after tying the match, North Macedonia retook the lead against us with an absolute beautiful strike from outside the box. I don't know what these guys are eating, but oh my goodness. Chile were under a lot of pressure now to find an equalizer, and Castorre set up his team with an amazing chance that went over all the defenders, but he couldn't finish it. And the match was really running out of time. Chile were just not creating any chances. But then, in injury time, Castorre had a good connection with his teammate, got in the box, and had plenty of space to shoot. But his shot was blocked by a defender. Full time, a humiliating loss against a rival that we should have beaten. And this was a really shocking result for Chile that also puts us against the ropes, because now, after the draw between Belgium and Ivory Coast, we cannot lose to Belgium or else we risk really being eliminated from the tournament. Now in this game against Belgium, a draw was enough for the Europeans to qualify, but it didn't guarantee our presence in the last 16. We really had to go for the victory. And right as the match started, Castorre saw himself through on goal, but he fumbled the chance. He couldn't chip it, he couldn't go over the keeper, he couldn't go around him, he just crashed straight into him. But fortunately for us, Belgium really didn't put any pressure, they were fine with a draw, and in the end, Chile benefited from the draw because it was enough to ensure our qualification for the next round. The Ivory Coast did beat North Macedonia, but because we smashed them in the first game, we had a better goal difference than them. And so Chile secured their last 16 spot, not in the most convincing manner, but qualification is qualification, it really doesn't matter. And who will Chile play against? It is no other than Portugal. Castorre has been highly criticized by the Chilean fans after his disappointing performances against Belgium and North Macedonia. The fans expected a lot more from the Ballon d'Or and Champions League winner, who had yet to hit his best level in this tournament with Chile. Against Portugal, we were by no means the favorites, but a good performance was expected and demanded. Early on, Castorre made a run into the box with plenty of space and decided to strike with his right foot, testing the waters early on. The goalkeeper pushed it away, and Portugal started to take control of the match. They were bombarding our keeper and putting our defense under a lot of pressure, and by the half-hour mark, it was Portugal who took the lead against us through a header by a corner. Chile reacted immediately with a ball over the defense that met Castorre, but the Chilean couldn't finish the chance, an opportunity that he so often buried with Real Madrid gone to waste. In the second half, Castorre started applying pressure, but Chile were lacking creativity. And by injury time, Castorre was desperate. He tried to dribble past the defender, but he got tackled, and on the clearance, the referee blew the final whistle. Both Chile and Lorenzo Castorre Jr. had been eliminated from the tournament. It was an early exit in the last 16, and the Chilean fans felt disappointed in the team, and most importantly in the Ballon d'Or winner. They expected Chile to make it much further, but unfortunately this is where Lorenzo Castorre's journey in the World Cup ended. He didn't want it to be so early, but there was nothing else he could do. Castorre finished the tournament with only 1 goal and 1 assist in 4 matches, and now had time for another short holidays before starting the preseason with Madrid.